Okay, and this was interesting because up until this point, no Mafia boss had ever worn a wire.
No.
But Joe Massino was facing life in prison.
Joe Massino was already convicted, yes.
Aha, he was already convicted and doing life in prison.
Already convicted. I'm not sure if he was sentenced at this time. What Joe Massino did, he played the game of chess really well. He played everybody, even the prosecutors. The day he was found guilty of the 7-8 homicides at his trial, he asked to speak to the judge and the prosecutor. And I think at the time it was Greg Andres, who was the prosecutor. It was Greg Andres. And Greg was like, what do I need you for? Your whole administration flipped. What could you tell me? Like Sal Vitale, your brother-in-law, who's been around you forever, told me everything. You can't give me anything new. Joe said, there's a hit on your life. What Joe did, just before his trial, Joe sent word out to Vinny. This effing Greg Andres is being disrespectful. He's doing this, he's doing that. I'm tired of him. He eats every night, and I'm not going to say where, a certain restaurant in Manhattan. Every, say, Monday night, he's there at this time. Vinny gets that response. Vinny tells me, gear up, we're going to have to take out the prosecutor. I think Joe sent him word to kill the prosecutor. I said, okay. I'm going to send word back to confirm. So Vinny sends a message with Tommy Lee, who is a lawyer, and somebody else. I don't know the guy's name off the top of my head. And Vinny's waiting for a response. It was a code. It wasn't like, you want me to kill the prosecutor. It was something like, hey, that thing you mentioned, you want me to take care of it. Joe never sent word back out to Vinny. So weeks go by. Vin, what's up with this thing? Well, Joe never confirmed it, so I'm not doing it. Okay. So that was Joe's ploy. While Joe's wearing the wire, Joe mentioned to Vinny, yeah, Bo, that thing with the prosecutor, that would, come on, you can't take out a prosecutor. And Vinny's, whatever he said, you know, he's like, yeah, I know. But Joe made it look like it was Vinny's idea. Now, when I go in to cooperate, they asked me about it. I said, that came from Joe Massino. They're like, what? That came from Joe. And then I find out Joe Massino had taken a lie detector test with that. And I was told 2 times he failed the lie detector test. But now I look at the government standpoint, they have to act on it even though he failed, because God forbid if he just failed, he was nervous taking the test, you know, their lives could be in jeopardy. And lo and behold, that was Joe Massino's in to become a cooperator. He made up the story that Vinny wanted to kill the prosecutor. So they accepted him to come in to wear a wire. Because without that, like Andres told him, you can't give me anything.
So
I know everything.
He planned this whole thing before he even went in.
Before he was found guilty.
Before he was found guilty. He knew that he was probably going to be found guilty and he would get life.
And this would be
so
his...
So he set up a situation that he started himself to make it look like there was a hit out on the federal prosecutor, which would set off red flags everywhere.
Correct.
Wow. And he would be the first Mafia boss to ever wear a wire, so no one would think that he's wearing a wire.
Correct. I had a conversation with Vinny afterwards when we were in co-defendant meetings. And I'm like, Vin, what made you tell him? Especially Vinny was extremely cautious. I mean, no cell phone taps. Didn't use a cell phone. Would use a pager code system, meet in person. Like, didn't you find it strange? You're in a segregation unit. There's cops around. There's cameras around. You have to surmise there might be listening devices all around. And yet the voice you're talking in, you told Joe Massino, Dominick took care of it in that tone. Like, you didn't say, or, I don't know what happened. Like there was, or whisper in his ear. Like you're speaking like this, like it's okay. Like, oh, Dominick did that. That's fine. It's legal. You're talking about me killing somebody.